Okay, welcome gamers, this is DasTactic. I'm actually recording this from the future. I've actually already recorded episode 3. This is episode 3 now, but I forgot to mention at the start, and it's important that I do it, that this is sponsored content. This series is sponsored by Shiro Games, and so I do want to thank Shiro Games for doing that one, but also it's important that you also know from, in case you've got any qualms about my objectivity, at least you sort of got that one in there. So I've already recorded episode 3, but just forgot to do that part of the introduction. So take it away, past me. Welcome gamers, it is night time on Arrakis, as you can sort of see with the map, but not that that really means anything for the strategy of the game. A few little things actually. First of all, I've actually had some crash to desktops with the game, and I don't know if it's the game or my recording setup or what it actually is, so I've looked around to see if any other people are sort of having the same problem, which I haven't seen, so it must be something to do with the weird setup I've got with my multiple monitors, as well as the essentially with the recording that when I'm doing these sorts of things. So I will just sort of point out I have actually gone and changed. If I go into here, into options, just if you're having the same problem, this seems to have fixed it. If I go into graphics, I have changed the driver. I was using the OpenGL. I'm now using DirectX. I also should point out I'm using AMD cards at the moment. When I first started playing the game, I was using the NVIDIA card. So not this recording, but when the game first came out. So my setup, I think, was still sort of set up for the NVIDIA type stuff. That may also be an issue. Anyway, this is, I thought I'd just, look, I'll point out the things when I do come across them. So I've switched to DirectX. That seems to sort of, that I haven't had a problem with it since. I'll let you know in other videos if I do actually have the problem. It mainly happens when I'm closing the game down. I've also changed my, this one here to go from full screen to borderless. So I've done that, and I've found that since doing these two changes, the game closes immediately, whereas before, when I had the OpenGL and full screen, it would stuff around a little bit with the with trying to close down, and would actually sometimes take a long time, and that's when the blue screen of death would then appear. So anyway, hopefully that will then fix it. If you're having the same problem, hopefully that will help you. But as I say, I've looked around and I can't see anyone else is having the same problem. So I think it's just me anyway. So I think it's some sort of weird something that's going on with my actual setup. Let's just go back in and resume the game. Where we were last time, let's just do a quick recap. I'll try to sort of do these at the start of each sort of session. We started off down through here with the advanced outpost. At the moment, we are slowly building up the research centre in through here. Now, probably not the best time to build this, essentially because it costs so much. Like the actual, the cost was 1,000 of the Solari, which we actually can afford, and also it was 500 plascrete. Now our plascrete is going to start to really accelerate. We're going to get a lot of plascrete coming in fairly soon. So that will actually be useful. That will be because of this location. So eventually we'll make this into our main plascrete location. This is also something where we've now gone and set up a group of militia, a ranged militia, and also a heavy militia. That will be okay for taking out the basic type units, but we're now getting a fair distance away from our main base over through here. So to get to, if we do get attacked here, we're going to have a little bit of a run before we can actually sort of get there with other troops. And we've only got 3 troops here at the moment. So that's a bit of a problem. Our manpower is, even though it's down to 68, is still not too bad. So we're sort of doing okay with the manpower. Yeah, so we'll just have to sort of keep on monitoring that. We're only getting a plus 0.1, but that's because we'll sort of see down through there the units are regenerating. There's a -8 happening in here while these units regenerate from the recent attack on Zay Alalon. So Alalon, I'm not sure how that's pronounced anyway. Of this little village. Other things that are happening. So we've got our spice mining operation in here. It's the only spice mining operation that we've got. We have seen over through here that there has been a group of Fremen that have been sort of mining spice in here. So I'm assuming this will be another spice mine, which means that these here then become more important for us to then go and grab. So I think we'll actually sort of come back down fairly soon and take these 2 locations. These cost us 96 now to get the authority for this one here. I wouldn't mind this one. It's another It is another plascrete area, but it's also going to be like essentially forming a bit of a border. And then we have another one down through here, which is 86. This one does have more of the rare elements, which essentially then equate into generally more Solari. That's probably actually what we need more than anything. And then we can take this, which the Fremen haven't actually taken, but they were mining this with one of their groups. Our 2 ornithopters are still just sort of scouting out. To get another ornithopter, it's another 300 Solari with 3 upkeep. I think I might do it, actually. I think I might grab another one of them now. And I've got to start thinking when I should be recruiting these as well. We still don't have any war banners. We'll be getting them fairly soon. We've got other different sorts of units as well. Like the Siren is a mechanical... this is a mechanical unit. So these become sort of like bigger and bigger units as we sort of start to build these. But let's just go with the... Yeah, let's just keep that where that is. We're a little bit bare bones with this at the moment. We also have to get on top of our water situation. This is now down to 6, so we've got a little bit of work to do with that. Also, we're finding more things in the sand, and there's one over here, for example, which is an abandoned Fremen camp. And so what this one does is if we can actually study this one here, it'll take 4 days. If we choose this one, though, it reveals a siege, and I think we might do that, just in case there's any sieges, which are the free Fremen sort of bases. If there's one near our territory, I would like to know. So let's just go and do this one. We'll choose that one now. That's then going to... It still hasn't dictated that one there. The agents are still working away, which is fine. The reason we can do that is because in our espionage, both our agents are in the Arrakis level, and so it allows us to then do different sorts of things on the map like this. And so they're now going to be checking out to see what they can find out from over here. That will take a bit of time. Now I should actually check the others as well to see what this one is. This is another one as well. So we could even do that one afterwards as well. So that's actually a second one. Or we can actually send in a military to investigate, but we no longer need the plascrete. So I think I prefer to get the intel on where the sieges actually are at in this stage. So the I've been trying to sort of look at what people are writing, because the game is launched now at this time of recording, but I haven't actually started uploading my videos yet. So I've just been trying to sort of see what people are thinking about the game, just where they're struggling with it. I am playing as the Akaz. I did notice that some people were having trouble trying to get their head around the Akaz, and I think that is largely to do with what to do with the with their, what are they called? I don't think I actually ended up leaving it there anyway. Surrounded neutral villages become a sanctuary. I think that the key, and I'm not an expert with the Akaz by any stretch, so take it with a grain of salt as to how to play as them. I think the key is to surround these, and you gain 1 authority per sanctuary, essentially. Villages adjacent to a sanctuary gain +1 influence of the village's traits. So we end up with getting a few other little bits and pieces. So they're the 3 things that it all revolves around the sanctuaries. But trying to surround a village is actually a little bit tricky. So if we have a bit of, but I think particularly on these sort of maps, I'm not even sure if these actually work with that one. I might experiment at some point when we've got enough areas to actually attempt this. Like this one here, for example, we'd need to get this one before we could then actually, try to check out to see if this one could be surrounded. This one here, I'm assuming that this one will work fairly well if we end up getting this one here, which would be interesting. So I think I might head there next, and then we'll experiment with this one to see what actually happens. I don't want to lose this one, but essentially all you do to actually then create these sanctuary villages, if you have already taken them over, is to just go and then you just abandon the village. And so that should then create your sanctuary, I think is how that would then sort of work. And then I think that these bonuses, these must be the bonuses, I'm assuming, that then go to other places, but I'm not 100% sure. But we'll experiment with that. I'll probably just do a save game, see what happens when we do it, how that then sort of operates, what it does to the other surrounding territories. Now won't be this episode. Maybe at the start of the next episode we could try that. So that, I think, is the key. Not so much to avoid capturing them, but to capture them and then abandon them when you've actually got everything set up to have them sort of surrounded, which is what we actually have in this situation if we grab this one here, I think. I'm not sure about the open border back through here. I'm pretty sure that would still actually then operate and work. I also don't know about these, so we'll have to figure out what's going to go on with that as well. So that will be, I think, an interesting thing for us to check out. Other things that will then impact that is back over here. We'll then sort of find that we actually have some of these, I think, give us back the when we do abandon a village, we do get stuff back there. But I'm not sure. It may even be one of our leaders does that, and I think that may be the case. I think one of the leaders that we had actually gave us back the authority that we used to actually take over a village if we abandon it. And I didn't understand why that would be of any benefit, but I can now see that that would be the benefit of it, to actually do it that way. Yeah, this is just for annexation. Not really sort of seeing anything there about abandoning. I haven't know that I've had a really close look through. This is more to do with combat. This is more to do with intelligence, so it's not going to really. It's going to be down in here in local dialects. But I think it may be Sansa. I think is the we've brought in Elisa and Whitmore as the two sort of what are they called? I forget what they're called. Anyway, the two main characters that we're bringing in. Agents? No, they're not agents. Whatever they were. Anyway, the two characters we brought in with the actual fight for the fight in this case was not. I think it was Sansa who actually does all of these. What is it again? It is the sanctuaries. God, I'm tongue-tied today. Sorry, guys. Actually, what does that show us there? Kedgemini bonuses conquest. Oh yeah, current bonuses. We've got nothing in here as well with the current conquest. Right, anyway, I'll just keep on sort of going with the game. At this stage, we are building back up and through this other side, building this one up. Now, we do actually have a trade request from the Fremen. So they've actually now come in and said, could we give them some spice and some Solari for Plascrete and Intel? I'm going to accept this. I wouldn't mind working with the Fremen. So this is Liet Kynes. So we'll actually go across and accept this. I'm happy enough with this. We're going to have a lot of, at the moment, we're going to have a lot of spice, but we're going to need to find the other spice location nearby. So let's just accept that for now. And we can actually go across. You can see at the moment we do actually have like the diplomatic status is that we're in conflict with the Fremen. So combat is allowed and treaties are impossible at this stage. But we can, if we get enough influence, try to get a non-aggression pact. And that may be, I don't think this is the Fremen that we're supposed to befriend in the actual main game. I think it's the Sieges that we need to start to befriend. But anyway, we'll start to work this way. The game also, I did read some comments where people were sort of expecting there to be much greater emphasis on combat. Dune and Arrakis and the whole lore of Dune, which I did in episode 0, it's so intricate, and combat itself is not the main way. It's the subterfuge. It's all these other things that go in. It all collides in. Of course, combat is important, but it's not the focus of the game, and I think that that's important to recognise. It's actually a brilliant game, the way that they've sort of balanced all that lore to really make it. It's something really quite special in my opinion. Anyway, I really appreciate what the devs have done to capture so many different aspects of the lore of Dune. Anyway, let's just keep on going again. I'll keep on pausing, and you guys will get shitted off with that. There'll be comments in this video saying, "Just play the bloody game, would you?" Yes, I am. Now we also have new villages controlled. Yeah, we've got that one already. Low water is now a big problem. So we can start to build our water sources. Now we've got a wind strength of 6 back in through here. I'm now going to build we've got the processing plant, the plascrete plant. We are going to now build the wind trap. And what this one does is it gives us +2 water per level of wind strength in the region. And so this will then give us 12 water. So we're going to definitely build that one next. And I'll just build that any old place. That will do over there. Now we still need a few other things to do in this location. This is where I did want to actually ultimately have my... I probably need to keep hold of all of these. I'll just experiment with making that one into a sanctuary at some other stage, but I won't actually do that. This is too important for me. And this one here at Haysayak, we do actually end up with getting +2 in intel production when the village has at least one building of each type, which is we're not going to really be able to do that one. We've got the Plascrete factory limits in through here as well, which we don't actually need in this location. We do have one Plascrete factory here, which is giving us +12 Plascrete production, which is okay for now. I don't know if we can... yeah, we can demolish the building just by right-clicking. We may have to reshuffle these buildings at some point, but let's just stay where we are there. Back over through here, this is another one where... this one's also... This is wind strength 5, and I may add another building slot in there and get another of the wind traps at this location. We saw at in the previous game, in the previous episode, that by pressing I and then just zooming back out, we can see what the wind strength is, and our best wind strengths are 6 and 5 here for what we can actually control. There's another 5 over this way, but this will then get us done. We'll be fairly good with our water. That will then give us the supply for our units to then be able to work further away from our borders. So again, the intricacies of the mechanics working very, very well. Let's just unpause. And I'll just press I again, just so we get rid of that. So these locations in around here are quite important that we sort of build these up. I think we have a limit of 6 in through this other side. Yeah, so we've now found the spice. We're going to have to ultimately get rid of these guys from this location. This spice location will be something that we want. It's 21 now. Yeah, and these have now all been built. So all 3 militia are now set up. These guys are now okay. We're going +8 with these. Let's just move these down and get them ready for the next attack. Everything else is going well there. The Chowan Market is now open. Now, I don't think we've looked at this in this run. I keep on forgetting from my test games and then this game here. The Chowan Market is now is where we're selling our spice, our leftover spice. So let's have a look and see what's going on through here. So we've got a few different aspects to it. This is the price history of the shares, because we can actually buy shares in this particular guild or this particular group. The Spacers Guild is not like this. The Space Guild, where they're actually sort of trying to transport through the warp lanes or whatever, the FTL type aspect of the game, is closed off, and so they rely on the Chowan Market to essentially supply them with the spice. And on Arrakis, our job is to supply the spice to the market. And so, and we can then have shares in the market, and getting shares in the market is also an important thing to do. Now you can see through here the actual shares available, and so this is purely just a share market that we're looking at this point. Nothing to do with the actual with the price of the spice or anything like this. But we do actually have, this is the available shares. We've got there's. At the moment, we've got 195 out of 1,000 available shares, and which is 19%. I don't know what these other ones. These then sort of show who actually owns what. So the other houses are owning sort of like 10 at this stage. This is the prime investor, is the allows the training of mercenaries if you're the prime investor. So we can actually go and get other things, and so this would be good. At this stage, the prime investor is. I think it's House Harkonnen and House Atreides. I think they both get that. Maybe neither of them do. And then the Chowan board member, so plus 20% military unit power and plus 100 maximum influence. Actually, is that 30%? This is at 10%. So everyone's at 1% at the moment, so I think that's how that was working. I think we have to get to this level to then be able to then allow the training of mercenaries, which are brought in from off-world, is sort of how that would then sort of work. And so, again, the intricacy of the lore, I think if you read the book, if you play the game a little bit, read the book as well as playing it, you'll get such an appreciation for what's going on here. But this is sort of like an off-world market, where the great houses can actually be board members and shareholders of the market. So we really do want to be getting these sorts of benefits as much as possible. All it's going to cost us is Solari, and you can see down through here, buy shares. Now I can click on the buy max, so start buying Chowam shares automatically until you run out of Solari. We'll respect the same restrictions as manually buying. Now I'm going to buy 20 shares and start to really get a big move on. We've got good income with our start. We have so we're doing fairly well with that. So we can buy the 20. We can also sell shares off if we need to, which of course we don't want to. We've got how many shares do we actually have? Yeah, this is on sale, the shares. Have we only got 5? You've only got 5 shares. So we're 0.5% of the shareholding at this stage. So let's go and buy all 20. That will then give us 2%. So we've now got 25, and so that's where we are and through there. So we're now the major shareholder amongst these groups back into this other side at this point in time. So we'll start to slowly build these up over the course of the game to then get the benefits of being a major shareholder and a board member of Chowam. Look, if we get to 30%, if we get to 10%, this is where we need to get to. So we're at 2% now, so eventually we'll get there. It'll just take a long time. That's the Chowam market, which is really cool. It all comes back to the actual the book and the lore. Let's just leave that one where that is. I was going to build another one of those, wasn't I? Now, development research. We've now done this one through here. So we've now got the local dialect studies. I thought I was going to go this way, actually. The military base. Minus 15% authority cost to annex a village. This is lie of the land. So plus 25% knowledge per controlled village. Unlocks the research agreement. Then we've got the Manichean propaganda. So plus 1 militia slot. So we can do that one to sort of improve our militia. Then we've got native artists, and these are only for ICAS. And so masterpieces increase relation with sieges in the same region. Unlocks the investment office building. Unlocks the museum. Okay, so we don't need that yet. Outpost logistics. I won't worry about those. I think we might go back in. We might go this way and just get our agents sort of with a bit more boosted, because I think we do have a bit of a benefit there, getting the chosen result on at least one resolution gains 10 Landstrat standings. Yep, okay, so let's go with the intelligence network, because that seems to have sort of been like a bit of a natural approach for us. We're still building that building back in the main area. By the way, this is not the limits so much as to what we can actually then go and do. This is the command point limits. I didn't mention this before, but you can see there we've got up to 40 that we can actually use, and we've used up only 10 with the 3 armies that we have. So we can end up with quite a large army, but we don't need it so much just yet.
Yes, my lady. As fast as these feet can walk.
Okay, so this has now been investigated. So let's reveal the siege. So we'll actually go across and resolve this. It's right there actually. So we've got the Tabpo siege is back in this other location, and these are locals. What else do we know about this one? At the moment, our relation level is -5. So higher relation levels lead to fewer attacks and more trading potential. They've got like a lot of people in here. You can sort of see that they're very, very well protected. So this is actually one of the Fremen sieges. I'm going to go and do the same one over here as well. Let's just see if we can find another siege. We'll choose that one. So 4 days for that one to be finished off as well. Now we're up to 38. We're sort of moving fairly fast in through here. So siege detected. Yep, that's okay. So we'll just get rid of that one. And what have we got in here? This one is right. So we need to spend 1,000 to get 43 authority. This is actually a water cellar caravan. If we actually go and talk with the locals here, that will also reveal a siege, and so we need to send a military unit to do that. So we'll do that one with, doesn't matter which one I use. I might start to get another unit, I think. We're up to 3,600. When we get to 5,000, we get another big boost. And I think we might just go and grab another unit. Excuse me. I think we might get ourselves a... which way should we do it? So Deadly Dance. So plus 150% attack speed when no ally units are close. This is sort of good for being able to... So there are only 3 command points to grab one of those. The Musketeers are 3. The Squires are 4. But they're not that great. I mean, it's sort of our base unit, base infantry. You can see there we've got a 17 attack strength there with the fencer, but again they don't really work well in amongst other troops. Look, I might grab the fencer at this stage, so we'll just go and get him. You can see there that the next panel is now opening up behind us. Okay, construction now complete back over through here, and there should be another one there as well. Yep, so we've now got both constructions done in this location. And look at our water, 32. Okay, so our supply now is we're going to be getting maximum supply essentially for our units. So the supply is just going to be replenishing now, and we're getting up to 210. I should have actually checked to see what that was before we started, as to how low the supply actually was. No point grabbing this until we get a bit closer. Okay, so spice mining is still just thumping along. We've got an attack coming in now. This is where we have to be a bit careful. This is just a group with only 11 attack power. Not sure where they're going to be coming in and where they're going to be going. They've got handguns, can attack flying units at short range with half power. We don't actually have any flying units that we're looking at in this instance. Back in through here as well. What do we get in through this side? We do get Freeman Mercenary. They never recover health. That's the problem with these. I sort of wouldn't mind doing that one once we might do that just so we've actually got that, at least we've got one to play with on the actual map itself. Anyway, let's unpause. I think that our the only area that we're going to have problems with, we're not going to have problems here. Now we've already built the building here to get the first of the plascrete factories. So our plascrete production is very strong. And if we have a look at this one here, we're getting plus 24 plascrete production from that location. Compare that to over here, where we have we're only getting plus 12 from that one. Over here with the plascrete, we have plus 20, so that one's up there. But this one here, we can build another one of those as well. But maybe we don't do that just yet. This one ultimately is going to be probably like a bit of a hard point for us. Like we're going to be using this as a bit of a base to expand further. So let's go and see what else we can build. Our manpower is fine. I could build a missile battery. I probably still want to just keep on going and getting something like the maintenance center. The maintenance center will then be better off. Actually, our best maintenance center will ultimately be here, I think, initially. I might just get that one built. Where was it? There it is there. And so this is minus 25% Solari upkeep in ally villages in the region and its neighbours. So let's just go and build one of those in here. That will keep things sort of fairly consistent. And then back up. Again, we just have to be careful of what we do with our plascrete and our Solari. We are going to be running out of this as we build these buildings. This location here, I'm really tempted to get myself a missile battery. But I don't need it yet for just these little attacks, and we're going to be extending further afield. So maybe we just go with the. We could go the second Plascrete. We could go with the like the water levels. Sorry, the wind strength is only 4, so I don't want to worry about water as such. The wholesale market will give me another plus 4.8 Solari, which doesn't have an upkeep actually, which is good. So that's just 50. That's a nice cheap one. We could always then ditch it, but I think that the Plascrete factory will be the one. Let's just go and do that. So we'll just go and grab that one then there. So we'll watch what actually happens. Now we've got construction complete back in through here. So we now actually have, sorry I keep on pausing, but I need to sort of talk it through. We now actually have this particular location down here, the research centre. And so we're getting plus 25% knowledge and we're getting plus 15% hegemony gains. So our hegemony will start to go up. Now you can see there we're getting some hegemony also from the spice contract. So we need to sort of make sure that we get hold of the spice, because essentially we win the game through hegemony. That's the important thing in through here. But we're now going to be getting a little bit of a boost along because of that building, and also because it's that district is now fully controlled by statecraft buildings. We get the bonus that was in through here, where we get reduce the cost of statecraft developments by 20%. So completed district, yep. So we've done that one through there. Now the next building that we want, we're not going to be able to afford it yet, so we're going to have to save up our money to then start to figure out what we want to do. But let's wait until we get to well over 1,000 before we start to consider that. And this will be a good place for that. We're up to 50 now. Where are they coming? They are going to be attacking this, which is fine. So we now actually have all the units that were in here will then deal with this particular group. And that won't be a problem. So because I had so many mercenaries, so many militia set up there, they'll be able to then deal with these units. So if we have a look at our actual militia, this one's got strength 14, this one has got strength 11, the one at the back has got strength 12, and even this one over here has got strength 14. So we're doing fairly well with that. Which is fine. Now we have research development. We've now done the intelligence network. I'll just pause and have a bit of a read through and just see where we want to go. I want to make sure that I end up going where I want to go. My instinct is to go back here and start to unlock the War Banner unit. So it will... yeah, because we're getting close now to being able to also then get our champion and a few other little bits and pieces as well. Let me just... I'll pause and have a bit of a read and then just tell you what I've selected. I'm interested in a few of these actually. Riches of Arrakis is an interesting one. This one, if it's only for a special region. Now we haven't actually found any special regions yet, so that one's not really viable. If we did, that would give us another big boost to our Solari production. We do have to pretty get on top of that, I think. That's going to be something we're going to need to be looking at, just to try to keep ahead of the game with this. Survival training is where I think we'll end up going, just because it opens up so many other different aspects of the game for us militarily. So let's go that way to start with, and then we'll figure out probably the national mythos and get that unit as well. Yeah, I might go that way, so we just end up sort of moving in that direction. All right, okay, so we've got this fight now ongoing, which won't really affect us much. We'll easily deal with that one. We've sort of made sure that say Alon has been well protected. And we're now sort of halfway through. I am worried about this tax negotiations, because the minus 50% Solari upkeep is going to it's going to leave us in 10 days, and that's going to then hurt us. This is a resolution that came through the Landsraad Council. So it will be actually resolutions be announced pretty much today. So we'll just wait for the resolution to come. Up to 58. We're getting close. Now what do we need for this one? 73 now. This is not too bad. We now actually have the new Ornithopter. I'm just going to set that one to auto recon, and I've got the new one of these as well. Now I'm just going to move them across to that location. And so these are in supply because they're inside our territory. There we go, New Landsright Council. We can have a look at that one in a minute. So we've got points of interest have now been investigated. So we'll reveal the siege in through here. So we'll resolve that one. And where did we find that? Back over here. So this is Quartzwood is the actual name of that particular siege. So we don't have any in our territory yet. This one is actually, I think this is outside of our territory. I think that's sort of in no man's land back over through here. So anyway, that's so we've now found two of the sieges, two of the Fremen outposts on the map. So we've got that one. This one here, we can resolve this one and reveal another siege as well. And where was the other one? We've got that one. Okay, Adhar, back in through there. This is actually close to where we ultimately would be wanting to go. So this is like in the area next to where we are. So we haven't found any of the sieges inside our own territory, but we are getting more and more location, which is good. So we're sort of seeing that. It looks like the Harkonnen are going to be our main threat on this particular map at this stage. Just unpause. Oh, the Landsright Council. Let's just have a bit of a look and see what's going on in here. Now, sometimes we're going to be able to do things before the votes, and certainly if you're playing as House Carino, you do get those sort of options to be able to then sort of change what the vote will be. God, it's so deep, this game. It's in the sense that it's combined so many aspects of the lore in interesting ways. So in this case, what do we have? We get 300 Solari. So this is Imperial missionaries. So we can't vote on it yet. So in 3 days we're going to be able to vote. This is just telling us what's coming up. So at the moment we have these are what's in play, including we've got this one as well, the Great Convention Watchers, which isn't really all that important to us yet. It would be later on in the game, but that one's not. But this one is very important to us to be able to get that sort of boost along. So we've got Imperial missionaries, so all factions gain 300 Solari per control village. That would be awesome. So that will give us a nice big boost. So the more, if we can get that before the resolution goes in, which we should be able to, we're up to 63 now already. So I think we'll be able to just go and take this other village. That means we'll get a big boost to the control villages. Trial of the Great Houses, so we lose 30 Landsright standing, so all factions suffer that one. Again, I don't mind if everyone does, although we then go from medium to low, I think. Actually, no, we're at 233, so we'd still be over 200, but some of the others wouldn't be, like Harkonnen and Atreides are actually both, they would actually slip from medium to low. We'd still stay in the medium, so it may be that we actually vote for that resolution. And then they've got labour rights as well. Every used command point increases Solari upkeep of military units by 1%. Of course, I don't want this one to go through either. Now, some of these will then be sort of like pushed around by other interests within the empire, and we'll see that sometimes. The traders may sort of put interest in there, whatever else it might actually be. There's different things that will then sort of ultimately, when the vote does go in, it's not just a simple vote. I really appreciate just how much this can change the game, but in a sort of controlled way where you still have a say. Now, of course, everybody had spent most of their influence last time, and we've got 40 at the moment. We're getting +2. We don't know what the others have got yet with their influence. We'll find out in the actual vote itself. Let's go. We've got 65. We're getting +6. I think we might go off now and start this particular attack. So let's go across this way and build this one up. I don't know why that's a different colour. It's like it's ice. And so we'll take this one out. Alright, so you can take that one, you can help take that one, you can come through and take these. Hang on, why are you doing that? You move across to there. How strong are these? They're 14.
Our lives are yours.
Only 13 there. Doing okay here.
Find us new sparring partners?
And so we're just going to keep these ranged units occupied. We've now destroyed that one as well. That's good. And I think they just went up a level. Did they? Armor 5. No, they're still the same. Now, yeah, we still can't make a champion. Or can we actually? When can we do that one? Yeah, but we requires a hegemony bonus of 5,000 before we can do that one. We'll leave that one where that is. Now, we've got a few other little things. Oh, no. I missed this one completely. Sandworm detected, and it's just literally destroyed our harvester. Okay, so we need to build another harvester now. Oh, damn it. I thought I had it set up to automatically run, but I haven't. Okay, well that's a problem. I better double check that when we do these next time. Now, we've got, that's 73. We've now got enough to capture this village, which will then be another 300 Solari, essentially, when that resolution gets passed, which is what we want. What else have we got? We've got the Sietches have been detected. We don't need to see them anymore. And the new Landsraad Council. I wasn't focusing on this at all. So, back in through here. Yeah, this is going to stop our... We've got a stockpile through there. This is going to slow us right down, unfortunately. What have we got in there? This is... use Arrakis information agents. We get advances of random accessible development by 4 days. Or we can get Landsraad standing. Yep, send a military unit. We'll do that once we establish this. We will go and send a military unit back in there. So, off we go. Damn it. Yeah, we've got another agent that's now appeared. I don't know if I can place them in there. No, I can't. Okay, so now we have to sort of think where else we can go with things. So, yeah, requires outpost logistics to get this other one unlocked. The Spaces Guild is going to give us manpower and intel. We don't need that. Charm is going to give us 10 more Solari, which we are going to need ultimately. But Landsraad is going to give us +1 influence, which is not critical. Or we send them into here. We're on level 0 at this stage. We do end up with extra intel. We get +3 intel. What's this agent got? This is charismatic. So influence global production is increased by 2% per information level. Information level is 266 at the moment. Yeah, the influence is going up. It's only +2. Actually, the charismatic there, we've got the +0 there. If I move this one across into the Landsraad, let's just see what happens if he moves into there. Yep, it's charismatic. We're going up a little bit extra with that charismatic. The influence can play a big role if we leave him there. The other option would be to bring this one across, where we end up with the psychologist moving across into House Harkonnen, and we could do it this way. And then if we have a look and see what she does, she gets another 0.6 intel, so we can really start to boost our intel up by doing that, and then moving this one up into this other location, keep that one back on Arrakis, so we don't actually make use of its abilities. Let's keep it this way. Again, I love this. Look, it's just nice and clean sort of spy mechanics without having to shuffle things around all over the map. So we'll start to sort of get information about House Harkonnen. What else do we have? So, promising politician. There we go. What's this one here? So, this is an event is in motion. Choose a course of action swiftly. So, we've got 19 days. A bright young politician is rising in the Landsraad. No matter the subject, they always manage to steer the debate towards a favourable census. So, House of Kaz could use such skills. So, in this case, it's 1,000. Now, we can almost do that one. We can almost do this one. We don't have the influence. We've only got 47, so we can't do that one there. So we need to have the Solari, we need to have the influence. So this one's not really going to happen. But this one here, if we lose the 1,000 Solari, we gain 10 Landsraad standing, which then takes us up even higher. Is it worth it for 1,000? I don't think it is at this stage. I think I've got too many other things for the Solari, so I'm going to actually ignore this one. It would be good, but I don't think we can actually do it. Our development has been completed in survival training. We can now build the military base. But we'll sort of worry about those in just a minute. I'll grab this one first. Now we can start to vote on the Landsraad councils. This will still be 7 days before we can do this one, and then this will then run out. But at that stage, when the next resolutions then sort of take hold, still 62% back over through here. I'll just have a quick look at these. Well, I'm assuming everyone will want this one. I'm going to support this. And I'm going to see how this one here, the minor houses, this is the darling of the minor houses. So if this resolution passes, all factions who have voted for it will be granted 10 Landsraad standing. So I think I might just put one vote in there, or 10 votes, just the minimum. So I'll support that one, but I think it will fail. But we'll still support the minor houses. I'm going to support this as well. I'm almost thinking that I support this one fairly stringently. I'm not overly attached to any of these. So that's 50. I might just put another, say, 40 in there. I'm thinking that will be supported. Let's just go and put the rest of our votes in there. I don't want to use up any of my influence. So I'm going to keep as much influence as I can. Now, we can see through there that nobody else has really rocketed ahead of us in terms of influence. So we're still everyone's just getting the +2, is from what we can sort of then go and tell. As we get the spy working with House Harkonnen, we'll get more information about what's happening in there. So anyway, I'll leave it there without actually using... So I've used up 100 votes, but not any of the actual influence. So we're not overly attached to this one in through here. Now, Speaker, what do we need in here? We need to have 250 Landsraad standing. You know, we're so damn close to that one. We're going to lose 30 there. Yeah, we need to actually spend a lot more influence. So there's no rush for this one in through these. It's got 40 command points are used. Yeah, we're nowhere close to that either. This one here have 0 of 1 charters. No, we don't have that one. We need to have another one of the charters up through here. Water Sellers Union. Produce. Wow, we've nearly got this one here. This one gives us +2 Solari per positive water. That would be a great one for us to aim for. We're so close. We just need to have one more water location, and we can then go for that one. Eye of the Council. And again, we need to get more agents, which again we're sort of heading in that direction, but I'm not sure how many agents the other factions have actually got at this stage. Yes, we need to get over the 250 Landsraad standings, which if this vote does go ahead, the others then go into low mode, which would be, I'm not sure what that actually means. This is the faction's political power and standing amongst the Landsraad. A high Landsraad standing unlocks new possibilities. With a low Landsraad standing, makes you an easy target. I think we'll still vote to erode that amount. That 10 Landsraad standing now becomes a bit more valuable. I'm sort of thinking I might not pursue that one quite so much, because we are very close. We are very close to getting this. Very close. And it's really just going to be events. Yep, so they've got they're getting +10 next council by the looks of things. So they're being raised up. Now I think that when we get our when we build, I think we can sort of. Actually, I'm now in two minds as to what to do here. I'm still going to support it, but I'll support it with 10. And really, it doesn't matter where I put the rest of it. I'll just put it in there. That'll do. So I'm not. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, I love the. I love this mechanic. It's simple, but it sort of just works. Let's just get this one here. almost got the harvester now built. So we've now taken the other location, so the new village is now controlled. This one is on sort of on the edge a little bit, but it's sort of tucked away. And we'll just get a militia and a ranged unit, I think. Just go that way. Now this one in here, Garden Resort. Yeah, I can actually spend 500 to get a garden resort. Requires the 5,000. We're so close now to the 5,000, so we're very, very close. If we can just get our get this mining operation back up and running again, we'll be okay. What do we have in there? We were going to choose this one, weren't we? Or was it this one over here? I think it was this one over here we're going to choose. Let's just go that way. So we'll get that one started with our agents. Right, I think everything is sort of now set up. We do have an armory now that we can sort of then go and use, customize the gear of House of Kaz military units. I won't show you that one. We're sort of running out of time in this episode. What do we want to build in here? Probably the Solari, the processing plant, which will give us plus 20 Solari production as well. And requirement is another 2 water, which is fine. Yeah, the wholesale market is free and cheap. Again, we've got such great plascrete production now. The dew collector, the wind trap in through here. There's only wind strength of 3, so not really viable. This one here counts as 2 buildings. Yeah, so this one a true expression of beauty. Yeah, look, I'll leave that where that is. I think we'll just get the processing plant. We'll just get that one established just to get started. And then we'll leave that one there. So I will leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode. Actually, we can now test this as well. I'll do that in the next episode. I'll just give it a go, see what actually happens, and report on that next time. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you then.